Hello, my name is Navigator, and I want to be upfront and honest with you in this video. I really, there's no solid information that I can talk about, no real evidence, kind of describing who is behind daily ops, and of course, that is what we're going to be talking about today. Who is this elusive, villain, group of enemies, whatever, that is behind daily ops? Is it a one specific group of enemies? Is it a bunch of them? I don't know. But I've been playing the daily ops today. Because of the new items we're getting with this mutated event update, there's a bunch of new rewards you can get from doing daily ops. And as I'm doing them, I'm kind of wondering who is controlling these enemies that we're fighting, who is paying them or mind control, whatever the heck they're doing, drugging them. I don't know, but what is their incentive behind this? Is this a familiar group that we know? Is it not? I don't know. So what I'm going to do in this video is as briefly as possible, kind of just, I guess, rant. Honestly, I'm just going to be ranting about all the thoughts that are in my head about this, and maybe this will start a discussion. Maybe we'll get a little bit of information here and there, and we'll kind of, create a bigger picture on who is behind daily ops. Because we do this event every single day, at least for the most part. I do, trying to get the plans and everything, and I'm sure you guys do them pretty much every day as well. So there might as well be an explanation as to who we're fighting in daily ops. Okay, what do we know? Well, we know that there's either uplinks or decryption, whatever. All these little radio codes, whatever it is. The Brotherhood of Steel has these little uplinks, radio interceptors up all over the wasteland. As you guys know, we do this in the Grafton High School, Morgantown High School, I forget. The boroughs. What else is there? Project Arctos Pharma, you can do the daily ops in. Practically everywhere across the wasteland, there's going to be a location where, the Brotherhood has these little radio interceptors or uplinks or whatever the heck they are. Okay, so if that's the case, that's understandable. The Brotherhood wants to have recon all around, and I don't know. Getting into lore, the First Expeditionary Force are on their way, and I guess it's Taggarty Thunder. I don't know. That's not even relevant. But what I'm trying to say though is that the fact that the Brotherhood has all these little, recon outposts, whatever, these little, gadgets set up all across the wasteland, it makes sense that they do that for surveillance. But who is attacking those little, surveillance things? And guys, I know I'm spinning around my camp here, but I don't really have much to show off here. It's kind of just me sitting down. Maybe I'll just be stationary. But who is attacking it? Well, the number one guess that comes to mind is going to be the Enclave. The Enclave, they're the biggest powerhouse next to the Brotherhood of Steel out there in the Fallout universe, and they'll probably have the technology and maybe the bribery tricks to convince people to go do their dirty work for them, so that the Brotherhood doesn't outright know that it's the Enclave. But we come into things where it's like you're fighting, like mole miners, you're fighting animals, you're fighting Scorched, you're fighting, Blood Eagles, a whole range of enemies, some of which, wouldn't really care about money or some kind of trading thing. Like if the Enclave is going to go up to a group of enemies and ask them to do their bidding for them, you're probably going to want to go up to a human who has to eat and and drink and probably likes jet or whatever it is, as opposed to like a Snallygaster or like a Mothman. I don't really think they're going to be that interested in working for you. So I'm wondering if this maybe isn't a faction, like maybe it's not the Raiders of the Enclave, maybe it's something bigger than that. And I actually filmed this, and this is kind of an idea that I had right now. I filmed this video today, and what I was going to do was go into a daily... Well, you know what? Let me just show you. It'll give you something interesting to watch during the video. So I go into a daily up today, and it's the aliens one or whatever. So what I'm going to do is show you just two kind of little pieces of information. So I'm going to stop talking and just watch the screen. I have subtitles on. If you can't hear it, that's fine. But just watch what Initiate Dodge says, and then watch what Homer Saperstein says after. So let me run in here, and I'll be quiet.
This is Homer. I have lost contact with several uplinks in your area. I need those operational to anticipate future extraterrestrial assaults. It is not only the Brotherhood who is using these uplinks. However, please do not inform them of my participation here. It would be most inconvenient.
Alright, so we're exiting now. Okay. I don't really... Okay. how can I explain this? All right. The first thing that we get from that is Initiate Dodge, and he's saying, "Oh, well, Brotherhood of Steel uplinks are disabled, whatever." When I was in there earlier, it said like we lost connection with blank, and the blank it was like static. So I was wondering if maybe he alludes to who he was in contact with, and they purposely blurt it out. But one of the most important pieces of information that we can get, and it's awesome that Homer is now part of this of the Daily Ops, because he says the Brotherhood is not the only people, or maybe they're not the only group who uses these uplinks. And I feel like if it was more of a thing where it was just the Brotherhood and maybe the aliens, he would have been like, the Brotherhood and like we and the Brotherhood use these uplinks, or maybe it's like, oh, the Brotherhood uses these uplinks, but we secretly siphon from them. It almost makes it seem like he is saying that multiple different groups of people are using these uplinks, such as the Brotherhood, the aliens, the Zaytans, whatever group Homer is with, and then possibly this other group, this mysterious, villainous faction that is behind all of the Daily Ops. So, honestly, guys, I know this video is a lot of speculation, but I really did try to go out there and look for a kind of explanation behind this. If I'm being dead honest with you, in reality, there's not really an explanation behind this. I think that Bethesda's kind of like, oh, well, here's a group of enemies for you to fight every day, hence Daily Ops, whatever. But, me, Navigator, I like to, kind of suck the lore out of everything that I possibly can, really get a story from it. So, what did we learn? A little bit of a recap here, just honestly for my sake. So, the Brotherhood has uplinks all across the wasteland. Somebody is trying to interfere with them. We know for a fact that the Brotherhood of Steel uses them, and we know for a fact that Homer and possibly the Zaytans, because I don't think that Homer and the Zaytans are really the same faction, but whatever. Some extraterrestrial factions are using these uplinks as well, and I believe that there is another group that is out there that is also using these uplinks for some kind of nefarious way, hence why we continuously do daily ops trying to prevent that from happening. Okay, that's really it for the video. But talking about all this, I want to kind of go into something really kind of like, tinfoil hat. If you guys have recently seen Uranium Fever's video on the Smiling Man, he talks about how the Smiling Man, I guess the inference that I got from this is the Smiling Man is not human. I also don't believe he's some kind of like, supernatural thing. I think that he is more closely tied to extraterrestrial kind of stuff than, Bethesda's really letting on. And if I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about that. But the only reason I say that, I guess the biggest piece of evidence that I have, is upcoming. We have an update called Into the Blue Moon, or like Night of the Blue Moon, something like that. And I personally believe that that is not going to be Mothman themed. It's going to be alien themed, and we're going to see the Smiling Man maybe, but I believe that Homer is going to come back for some, big thing. And there was this whole thing when the alien invasion updates where Homer was like preparing us for invasions from the Zaytans, and I honestly feel like he's preparing us for something a little bit more. So that last piece there, that really doesn't have a lot of relation to this video, although just kind of keep your eye out. I have a feeling that there's some secret stuff going on behind the scenes in Appalachia, and I'm curious to find out what it is. So guys, thank you if you ended up sitting through this whole video and listening to me kind of being all speculatory. I really appreciate it, but I really, really want this to be almost like a forum post where you guys can kind of talk about your ideas and your theories about this, because I would love to kind of get to the bottom of this, and maybe create a more solid story around this, because heck, I probably butchered this entire thing. So I don't know, folks, but I'm not going to waste any more of your time. My name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.